Tell about when you flipped your racing Mustang, the roof flies off, and you hit the safety wall.
Yeah, those are rides that when you race, it's not if you're going to crash, it's when you're going to crash. I mean, it's just part of the game. But that was the worst incident or worst accident I had. When you know you're going to crash and it's going to be violent, you take your hands off the steering wheel and you brace yourself. That's what you got to do, because you know the impact's going to be hard. And the car flips along. It's no big deal. It goes end to end. But this particular time, for some reason, it went end to end, and then it speared off sharply to the right into the safety fence, and the safety, because of the hardness of the impact, it broke the one of the safety wires. And I had my hand, facing, gripping onto the roll cage, and it did what they call degloved, and took half my hand off.
And was that the hand?
Yeah. So.
And what happened to it was the finger in particular, right?
Yeah, well, it's a degloving, so I had my hand like this, and the wire just went like that, and it.
Is that what that scar's from?
Yeah, sliced this little finger off and degloved your hand, so it sort of fillets your hand. It just cuts your hand in half. The wire just cut my hand in half. So yeah, that wasn't a pleasant experience. But
what's going through your head right after that happened?
Actually, I mean, it happened so quick, and I didn't even feel it, to be honest. And it's just I noticed my glove had a lot of blood in it, and then of course I took my glove off and realised it was a fairly significant injury, and I noticed that one finger was missing, so that was obviously still in the glove. But
and the finger was literally off your hand.
Yeah, and it was in the glove. So obviously had to go to hospital and get everything reattached and whatever. But racing's a dangerous sport. We all know.
You say it so nonchalant.
Well, I mean,
get the finger reattached or whatever.
It's a dangerous sport, racing, and you don't enter into a sport like that unless you're prepared to put yourself on the line. And to be in any kind of form of motorsport, to be good. There are times where you've got to put yourself on the line. You've got to take a gap that may not be there, or you've got to make a manoeuvre that may not be the safest place to do it, or it might be a bit aggressive. But to be good at racing, you've got to be aggressive, and sometimes aggressive. When you're too aggressive, you can pay the penalty. So. You don't enter into the sport unless you're prepared to put yourself on the line.
Was there any long-term impact on that hand?
Oh yeah, it's unfortunate. That was not the end of my golf career, but I don't have the same strength in that hand, and of course I can't move that finger that's just sewn on there, and it doesn't move.
Oh really? You can't move it at all?
Oh, I mean it moves, but it's bent. You can't. It was, for some reason it could never be straightened again, and I lost a lot of the strength in that hand. And when I play golf now, I can't hit the ball as far as I used to hit it, because I don't have the strength in the hand, but I hit it a little bit straighter, so maybe that's a good thing. But outside of that, that would be the only thing that's sort of made the golf a little bit different. But hey.
How did you go about getting involved in racing in the first place?
As a child, I mean, I've always had two loves. Like a lot of kids here in New Zealand, rugby and racing, two sports that are very big here. Rugby is obviously our number one sport here. And then
not three loves with golf?
Golf came a little bit later, but first, and as a kid, it was rugby and racing.
What do you enjoy about it?
It's a very, very exhilarating sport. Racing on dirt is what I do. And basically, you're trying to control a vehicle that's out of control on dirt tracks. It's not a tar steel track where everything's pretty predictable. Dirt tracks, the surface is always changing, the tracks are always different. The actual track surface itself, the composition of the material that the track's made out is different. So it's a real a game of reading the track, and it's just a very exhilarating sport, racing on dirt.
What are the awards you're most proud of racing?
Well, I've won, two national titles. I've won the New Zealand Championship in both divisions. When you win the New Zealand Championship here, the national title, for the following 12 months, you get to have one NZ on your car, one New Zealand. So if you finish first, second or third in that event, you have one NZ, two NZ, three NZ on your car. So you change your car number. My car number is 21H. So you take that car number off and you put the 1NZ or 2NZ or 3NZ, and it's very prestigious. So for 12 months, you get to go to the track with the 1NZ on your car, so everybody knows that you're the New Zealand champion, and it's quite an honour. I think you could ask any driver that. It's a huge honour. So, to have won both championships in the two different classes that I compete in, it's definitely been a highlight. That it was my goal to do that, and and I achieved that. So it's not easy to do, and there's a lot of luck involved, I guess. But to have actually to do that, it's been very rewarding.
Tell about how you proposed to your wife.
Yeah, I suppose you could say I'm a redneck in some sense.
That's what Tiger said after, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or he kidded you about that?
But we went to a racetrack, and it was a daytime race meeting, and during the parade lap, sort of the warm up before you get racing, I had this banner stuck to the side of my car that was on the side of the car facing the fence, and as we drove past the pit area where all the pit people are, I had the sign said, Kirsty, will you marry me? I thought it was a good idea at the time, but I suppose when you look back, I could have been a bit more romantic than that. I wouldn't exactly say the racetrack's a real romantic sort of place, but hey, it's something different. I always like to think outside the square box and do something different, so that sort of typifies me in some way. But or at least it's one of those things I'll never forget, because sometimes you forget people's birthdays, this, that, and the other. At least I did it in a way that I'll never forget how I did it.
Right.
May not remember the date, but I'll never forget how I did it. So, yeah, it went out good.
No hesitation with doing it in a public place like that?
Oh, no, I suppose I didn't give much thought. And, hey, it was, everyone thought it was pretty funny at the time.